Welcome, welcome. I hope that was enough time for me to start it. Today is whatever today is. I think it's like the first. All right, it's a new month, so we have a new bunch of things to do, including new movies. All right, so we're going to be talking about our basketball stuff in a second. All right, but I wanted to go over the movies for this month just in case you wanted to watch them. All right, and you know what's something interesting actually? We have challenges that go on and go throughout for first all the way through 12th grade. And there are very, very few days where the challenges won't be anything. All right. And this is one of those days, though. For the first graders, if you're a first grader, today is take a day off. All right. It says that in the book. If you open it up for this day, the challenge for the first graders is to take a day off. All right. And I was sure to include some days off for the younger kids because basketball every single day might wear on their mind. All right. So I have a couple of days off, not that many, for those people. You can see and you can hear me. All right, cool, Leandre. Thank you so much, sir. Anyways, you know what? I'll start with the quote of the day, talk about the story, then I will go through all the movies, and then we'll finish with all the basketball stuff in the end. How about that? All right. The quote of the day is, "The obstacle's actually the path." All right. And what that means is this: you think that the path is here. The path might wind, the path might go up, the path might go down. You're trying to get to the NBA, so you don't know which direction to go to. All right. But imagine if you had someone saying, "Come on, it's this way. Come on, it's this way." All right. And always telling you, well, you kind of do. All right. The path that you want to take is the path that's usually the hardest. All right. So if you see like a program out there that's having you just play games and it's all easy and it's fun and your body's not tired, probably the wrong way. But if you go another direction and now you're hitting it hard and it sucks and it's like a pain every single day, you're going the right direction. All right. So the obstacles actually the path. The obstacles that you have in life are actually the path. You're on your phone today. Nice. You're fancy, man. You're fancy, Finn. All right. As for the motivational story, it's optimal situations are rare. If it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert, less than 100 of those hours will be at the right time, on the right day, with the right team, and on the right nights without homework. All right. The trick is to have fun, stay focused, and persevere, no matter what, so that those 10,000 hours fly by. All right. Just know that nothing ever has to be perfect. All right. So some of you guys want to be on better teams. Some of you guys want there not to be smoke in the air. Some of you guys want to not have so much homework some nights, to do basketball when it's easier, right? Well, if you want to be great, you have to realize that those nights are very, very rare, and you can't just work out the perfect nights. You have to work out the imperfect ones as well. So your worst day, let's imagine that you're injured, that you have homework, that your basketball hoop broke, that your mom just got into a fight with you, that your girlfriend just broke up with you, so you're crying. The most imperfect day possible. Can you get better that day? Or will you just be in your room crying all day? All right. You have to get better on the imperfect days as well. You can't sit around and wait for it to be perfect, because sometimes you're just going to have to go outside to work out instead of a gym. Sometimes you're going to have to work out with a flat basketball instead of a real an inflated basketball. All right. So get up those 10,000 hours any way that you can, and nothing has to be perfect. Okay. Because no matter how good your team is, you're going to want it to be better. All right. There's never a perfect situation, and no matter how bad your coach is, he could be worse. All right. So understand that it's not ever going to be perfect. Maybe you're not getting the ball enough. Like you're out there, no one's passing the ball. No one's passing the ball. You keep waving. You keep waving. You're out there playing. Be happy. You could be on the damn bench, all right, not getting the ball. So you're out there playing. So don't take that for granted. And why don't you go get a rebound? Make the most of the situations that you're given. All right. Anyways, let's get to the movies. I love movies. Again, I love movies because it's inspiration on tap. All right. And in my life, a lot of people tell me, they're like, John, you really inspired me to do this or that. And I'm like, did I? Oh, I guess I'm that guy. I, I'm the guy who hypes everybody up. I know you guys think I'm negative sometimes, but in my life, even if they're not a basketball player, just like my friend, I'll be like, "You're the best. You could do this. You could do this." Like, and all the time. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like everyone can be amazing. So why not tell them that? Um, yes. If we continue with the same thing we did yesterday, will the people online do the same thing? Yes. All right. So we switched up the workout yesterday, where it's basically instead of being instead of it being 1 minute dribbling, then 15-second rest, then 2 minutes 30-second shooting, then 45-second rest. That was kind of complicated. Now we're just doing 2 minutes dribbling, 2 minutes shooting, 2 minutes dribbling, 2 minutes shooting. So it's actually easier in a way. Except for during the first minute of dribbling, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do the dribble that we're doing, but you must do a dribble. You can't shoot or anything like that, but you must do a dribble. But if you are a leader or if you're at home, you can shoot. You can shoot layups. You can do whatever you want while everyone else is dribbling or getting a drink of water for the first minute of the 2 minutes of dribbling. At the halfway point, it tells you. So it's 2 minutes of dribbling, 2 minutes of shooting, back and forth. But for the first half of the dribbling, we're getting drinks of water, rest, do your own fancy dribble, or your leaders at every basket are going to be they're going to be shooting like layups or something like that. Anyways, that's what we're doing. But let me get back to the movies. I love movies because that was my inspiration. So I didn't have a me in my life. But I had these movies. Whenever I needed energy in games, whenever I needed energy during practices, whatever it was, I could call upon the images from these movies to motivate me past anything. And maybe you guys don't see movies like that. Maybe you guys are like, no, movies don't inspire me. That's cool. How about a person? Well, okay, maybe I inspire you, but I won't always be there. Your parents? Maybe. Maybe you're just not inspired by anything. Well, guess what? You lose. All right. If you're not inspired by anything, you just lose. So if you can be a person that can be inspired by everybody or by everything, it's not a weakness. All right. So allow these movies to push you forward. Watch them. And I'll say a lot of the times, some of the time I was inspired right afterwards, like the movie Rudy or Rocky. Like right after the movie, I was like, yeah, let me go. But sometimes the movie was like, let's see, one of these movies. The movie was like Sandlot. After I watched Sandlot, I didn't care that much about baseball. But like a year later, I started thinking about the movie and thinking about like how it related to my life when I was going then in there. Then it inspired me. So you don't even know when these movies will inspire you. So I say watch them now, and then wait for those times to call upon themselves, and then you're going to remember how the characters in the movies got past it, and you're going to be hyped up to continue. So let's start with the first graders. Besides their day off today, they are watching the movie Rookie of the Year. The movie Rookie of the Year is about a baseball player who he broke his arm. And basically, when his arm healed, it healed very funny. So it went like this really fast. And he went to a Chicago Cubs game. He's like a 12-year-old. The ball went in the outfield, and he caught it, a home run. But whenever the opposing team hits a home run, everyone in Chicago throws it back. They're like, throw it back, throw it back. So he had to throw the ball back. He's like, me? And that's his friends handed it to him. But he threw the ball back from the outfield all the way to home plate. And they were like, oh. So then they ended up hiring him, and then he became the pitcher for the team, even though he's a 12-year-old. And that's how the movie begins. So it's a very fun movie for little kids. I definitely enjoyed it growing up. All right, Rookie of the Year, first graders. Second grade is The Sandlot. I can't tell you how many people this is their favorite sports movie of all time. If you haven't seen The Sandlot, I don't care if you're an 8th grader, 12th grader, watch this movie. It's another baseball one. It's a very, very magical movie. All right, this movie pushed me a lot when I was growing up. What's up, Dylan? The Sandlot. So we had Rookie of the Year for first grade, The Sandlot for second grade. Third grade is Miracle. I've not seen that one, but it's about hockey. I'm guessing it's about the 1980. 1980. Is it two? No, the 1980 USA Olympic hockey team. I think that's them. Miracle, where they beat the Russians. Rocky IV, speaking of beating Russians, that is the best Rocky of all the Rockies. Rocky IV, by far, is the best Rocky. And it's amazing. He fights the Russian, goes over there, all this other stuff. It's deep. His best friend dies in the beginning. Oh, it's crazy. I can't tell you too much about it, but it's my favorite Rocky. Fifth grade is Rocky Balboa. Two Rockies. All right. So Rocky Balboa is when he's older. It's a pretty decent Rocky. That's the fifth grade movie. Sixth grade is Sienna. I have not seen that one. Or no, Senna. I have not seen that one, but I think it's a horse movie. It's like a horse race movie, but it's like cross country horse race, like where they were going across the Sierra Deserts. Maybe I'm not really sure about that one. All right. No. It's a car racing movie. There you go. It's a car racing movie. It's called Santa, and I'm not quite sure. It's a weird one. I think it's maybe Formula One. I didn't quite understand it, but if you want to look that one up, that's for the sixth graders. If anyone watches that one, let me know what it's about. Miracle on Ice? No, this one's just called Miracle. Seventh grade, Run, Fat Boy, Run. Another one I have not seen. I'm guessing it's about a fat kid running. I don't know. It sounds kind of mean, but I'm sure if he deserved a movie, it would be pretty good. Run, Fat Boy, Run. Again, seventh graders, if you see that one, let me know. I'm going to have to watch a couple of these this month. Eighth grade, here's a great movie, Tin Cup. If you're an eighth grader, watch Tin Cup. Yeah, it's a good movie. It also taught me a lot about basketball, about my shooting form. I know it's a golf movie, but there's this one part in the movie where the guy can't hit the golf ball, and like his caddy goes, "Oh my God, I'll help you. Turn your hat backwards." He's like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah. Turn your hat backwards and take all the money out of your left pocket, put it in your right pocket." He's like, "What?" He goes, do it, or I quit." And he goes, "Okay." And he goes, and turn this like this. Take off that glove. He's like, "What?" Okay. So he does all this stuff, and then he goes, "Now hit it." And he hits the ball perfectly. And he goes, "You did it. You're the best caddy in the world." He goes, "No, you idiot. I took your mind off of it." And that was a very interesting movie. But it teaches people about like love for the game as well, and also taking chances. This guy was a big risk taker. He's a crazy golfer. I mean, what was it like? He shouldn't have even been on the pro tour. He was just like this guy who was just like a golf teacher, and then he just made it one day, and he does all these weird things, but I don't know. He always saw the risk and just said, "Who cares?" And it was kind of a enormously bad thing about his game is he took way too many chances. But in the end, you see the chances he takes is what was beautiful about him, and he wouldn't be who he was without those chances. So Tin Cup for the eighth graders. I think Finn is an eighth grader. Watch that movie. And for what's his name, Leandre, you're a third grader. Your movie was Miracle. All right. Tell me what that's about, man, if you watch it. I don't know if you've ever watched one of our movies. You watched one, I believe, the first month. Ninth grade, this one is for Dylan. And this movie here inspired the Houston Rockets to change everything about their organization. And when they changed this, that was when they got really, really good. But then the entire NBA changed. All because of this movie. And this movie's called Moneyball. It's about the Oakland Athletics. And the Oakland Athletics decided to hire this guy who was a weirdo. And basically, he would tell people to get out on purpose. They got good because of Hakeem. No, this was after that. It was in the 2000s. So Hakeem had been gone for 10 years. All right. Well, this movie Moneyball comes out, and they hired this guy, the Oakland A's, and he has these weird ideas on he will tell someone to just get out because it's what the numbers say. Or bat this guy instead. You bat left hand. He's like, what? Just crazy stuff. And he's like, what? This makes no sense. He goes, no, the numbers say on Tuesday you do this. He's like, what? And then he had to talk people into it, but they finally started doing it. And boom, they started winning. Out of nowhere, but they didn't win the whole thing. And he kind of got fired afterwards. But then after that, he got hired for the Boston Red Sox. And the Boston Red Sox won immediately with it. And they won for the first time in 80 years. All right. And then what it is it's called analytics. And they brought it to basketball by adding cameras to every court. And only the Houston Rockets did this for a while. And they measured how many miles that you ran per game. They measured who had the ball the longest. They measured how many shots were shot off of this guy passing to you. So basically, if you go out in the game, this is the bad part. If you go out there in the game and you're by far the best player on our team, and you go out there and whenever you're out there, somehow it inspires the other team. I don't know. They just get super lucky and they just make 12 shots when you're out there. But then you come out and then they have a horrible streak. Because of analytics, if that happens for a while, they would never play you. Even though you're the best player and you score. And maybe you never even miss. But they would say, nope, whenever you're on the court, we lose. So they just started doing analytics. They started saying, go to the left side. Only shoot from this. Never shoot twos, only shoot threes. Like just weird things. And all of a sudden they started just winning and winning and winning. And the only thing that stopped them was everyone else copying off of them. They were about to win like the whole thing, like the Rockets, and they had like nobody but James Harden. All right. And analytics is now a huge part of basketball. And on every team, if you're not doing analytics, then you have like basically no chance to win anything. Some players don't like it because they just like the feel of the game. They don't want computers to get into it. But now everyone has started to embrace analytics. And for baseball, every team, again, does analytics now because of that. It's all because of this movie, Moneyball. All right. Watch the movie Moneyball and you'll understand a lot about like breaking down stuff. And again, it was a guy who took a chance and he had an idea and he went for it. All right, next movie is 10th grade movie. It's called Slapshot. I do remember this one, late 80s maybe. And this guy and this girl, like this guy was a hockey player. And then this girl, he got like kicked out of hockey or something like that. Then this girl needed him to be her partner in figure skating. So he like did that, but he was like horrible at it because he's a hockey player. So like it was like that was a weird thing. But I remember it being a fun movie. 11th grade, Semi-Pro. I always pointed out this is the funniest movie on the list. Semi-Pro. It's with Will Ferrell, plays basketball. It's in the 70s. He has a team. And there was this thing called the ABA. Before the NBA, there was the ABA. And in the NBA, there was like real basketball. In the ABA, there was some fancy teams. But this is supposed to be like pre-fancy guys, I guess. And this is the auxiliary league to the NBA. And before they merged, they were doing like weird things. They had no fans, so they had to do like lion shows at halftime. Like it was very stupid stuff. And the owner, Will Ferrell, was even on the team. And the funniest part to me was when they threw an alley-oop to this one guy. And it's Andre 3000, the rapper. But he catches the alley-oop and dunks it. And everyone was shocked because they had never seen an alley-oop dunk before. They all paused. And everyone was dead quiet. And then the referee just blows his whistle and goes, foul. He's like, foul. He didn't touch anybody. He goes, he can't go up there flying in the air. And then they're like trying to talk about it. And after like 10 minutes of us like arguing, they're like, we're going to count it. And then they started throwing alley-oop dunks all the time. And it was like the invention of the alley-oop. But this movie was really, really funny movie. Can't describe it too much, but it's definitely for the older kids. So if you're a junior, watch this movie, Semi-Pro. Because of Dr. J, I thought they had lots of fans. They had lots of grassroots fans. They weren't making that much money. That's why they had to fold. And they got bought out by the NBA. They were making like no money. They had a lot of dunkers though. Dr. J, but this is supposed to be like before all those guys came out. It was weird. Yeah. Last movie is the 12th grade movie. And you know how I say, watch this movie if you're older? That's what I mean for a Semi-Pro. But if you're younger, like a 5th grader, you can watch Semi-Pro if your parents agree, right? I mean, it's whatever. There's nothing that bad in it. This movie, though, the 12th grade movie, do not watch this movie if you're younger. All right? This movie is called Tyson, and it's about Mike Tyson. All right? And it's the Mike Tyson movie that basically Mike Tyson made. He's being interviewed. Oh, my God, the stuff that comes out of his mouth. It's crazy. He talks about everything that he did in his entire life. Like, everything. But they also show like some cool boxing scenes with it. And man, it is eye-opening. It is eye-opening. I saw it in the theater, but it was like a small theater. Only like 30 people can go in. They didn't show it in big theaters. So that's Tyson. Again, only watch that if your parents heavily agree to it. But yeah, so definitely heads up for that movie. So those were all the movies. If you watch them, again, the three of you guys that are watching right now that I know of, Leandra, your movie's Miracle. Finn, your movie is Tin Cup, which is a great movie. And then Dylan, your movie's Moneyball. All right, back to the workouts. Today, Dylan forgot his phone. So he couldn't film anything. So tomorrow he will have 8 minutes of planks, unless, of course, he goes back up there and films them today without me. But we already did the workouts. We talked about all the team stuff and things like that. So it's up to him. So he's still very forgetful. All right. And why he's forgetful is because, I don't know, he's probably just not a straight A future LeBron James, wisest guy in the whole world. It happens. He's like most kids. Okay. But if you want to make it, you can't be like most kids. There has to be something special about you. And we're going to slowly put this into him. I think I have him until March. Okay. So every day I'm just going to hit him up on this stuff. Every day. I'm going to see in 5 months if he can change. Can he change? Can Dylan change? Because if Dylan can do it, then all you guys can do it. But I'm right there, right by him every single day. We're going to try to do it. Tyson is very, very funny. He's a funny dude. He wasn't funny in this movie, though. He was crazy. Anyways, so here's the workout that we did today. We started with the Monoginobili layups. That's when you have the ball like that on one elbow. Push the ball out, hide it, and then score it as you step out. Handoffs to 2 shots. We did the handoffs. I had to tell him to come off my shoulder and to sprint off. Right? He was trying to jog off. You got to sprint off. You want to sprint off and then dribble away and then pull up quickly because you don't have time to be taking your time. You don't have time to take your time. I know you can make more shots if you take your time, but you're also going to get your shot blocked. Offensive rebounds on free throws. All right. The trick is to place your hands on your knees, then put your hand and your foot over theirs as fast as you can, then drive into them. Or you can do a spin, or you can do a fake spin, or you can screen across so that they can't stop it. We talked about all that stuff as well. Side and right, we did backdoor layups, and we also did backdoor layups from the point guard and backdoor layups from the top of the key. And he also made passes from the top of the key where he's at the free throw line and tried to pass it accurately with a bounce pass behind him. And I stood there like a catcher and said, throw me the ball. And he did it well enough with his right hand. With his left hand, he sucked at it. So you got to be better with your left hand as well. And then we got 0 to 3 seconds, down by 3 with free throws. For that one, we mentioned that you have to miss a free throw on purpose. You have under 3 seconds, down by 3. You got to make one, miss one on purpose. He was not very good at missing on purpose. Kept crossing the line. You don't want to cross the line. And then last one is 5-on-6 press break. All right, we mapped this out and realized that on the 5-on-6 press break that they do for practices to like make it all crazy, you want to do well in this. But how you do well is you have to screen hard, but then you have to beat your man off of cuts. It's a one-on-one thing, trying to get open, just like you're a wide receiver in football. All right, and it shouldn't be that hard because the player taking the ball out of bounds probably has like a free range to like see you. One person should not be able to stop you over the entire court. So be able to beat one person. That's what this thing's all about. And can you beat them on cuts after that? Can you beat them on cuts down the court? All right. So it's all about cutting fast and cutting hard. All right. For middle school drills, we have wall, floor, tap dribbles. All right. That's in between the legs, tapping the wall, tapping the floor, tapping both. Double team step through. Fake the ball high, step through a double team, and they can't guard you on all 6 routes. So it's down the middle on top right, top left, bottom right, or pump fake step through. Then we got scrimmaging where we have key points. That means if you get inside the key, you get a point. Don't forget that for life in general. Not life in general, but basketball in general. All right, if you drive inside the key, it's just as good as scoring. Drive inside the key and pass out is just as good as scoring. All right. Scale and hype is our flare cut and our post up. 49 seconds, down by 3 with free throws. Now you don't have to miss it on purpose. Now you can make both and then foul them right away. You don't want to give them the ball to just hold. You want to heavily deny, but if they pass the ball inbounds, then foul them. And the last one is 5-on-5 winners run. I like that because it shows you how much that you want to win. Because if you win, you're going to have to run. All right, so I like the punishment. It's actually for the winning team. The last ones are elementary layups, just regular layups, pushing the ball out. Sideline out of bounds for shots. That's the out of bounds guy has 2 balls, and then we run our out of bounds play where we screen across on the top side, and then still screen to the guy in the corner. You get to pass it to 2 different people for shots, and we're just practicing coming off those for shots. Zone flex screens. That's don't allow yourself to get pinned in on the weak side. So play on top of the screen, not on the inside, not on the outside, but on top of the screen. Don't cross half court on the trap. Again, if you want to talk about any of these, I can, but I'm just going to go over them. Don't cross half court on the trap. That means if you're dribbling the ball off the court and they're about to trap you, do not cross half court because you now create 2 other defenders, meaning that you create the back court line is now the defender and the out of bounds line is now a defender. So if you dribble forward and see 2 people coming, go retreat dribble before you cross half court. 0 to 3 seconds. Down by 3 with free throws, full court on a dead ball, and you can't even move. I would say if it's a dead ball, you can deny on this one. If they call it a timeout or something like that, you can deny heavily. And then once they get the ball inbounds, then you foul. You don't want to foul when the ball's out of bounds. Last one is 5-on-5, Nash, then dash. We make the better team run a Nash drill, which is a 3-minute run. And then they play a game tired. And then the losing team has a Nash drill. So that team that just ran a Nash doesn't want to run another one, but they're also tired, but they're also better. So it's a great mix, and it shows how much heart that you have. All right, and that's about all that we have. Wanted to finish up talking about the playoffs. All right, and my Lakers are winning. But not only are they winning, the 3 best players on the Heat got hurt. All right. I know the Lakers have a huge chance to win now. It's an enormous mismatch, enormous. But next game tomorrow, we're going to see what the Heat are made of, period. I mean, dang. You can't get any more down than this. But I want you guys to know something. Look, what the Heat have done by getting this far has been amazing. I won't count them off yet. I will not count them off yet, all right? Because they are a great team. They do everything right. Eventually, it's good for my business when that team wins. So if that team loses to the Lakers, know that the Lakers are just enormous team with the enormous talents. And the Heat really did have like just role players. It's crazy. They had Jimmy Butler and just a whole bunch of role players. And he's not even like the supreme superstar. So what they're about is amazing. And what they've done, it should not be held bottom. But I don't think that they're done yet. I think even with all this stuff, they're still going to squeak out a couple of wins. Even win the whole thing. It's possible. All right? Because if you do things the right way, everything becomes possible. All right? And as for the Lakers, they definitely got the ball to the inside. They were not only passing the ball to the inside, they were driving on the inside of the zone. That might get fixed with the Heat getting better. But the Lakers also hit a ton of threes. And that's not normal. And that's the one thing I'll give the Heat is the Lakers do not hit threes very much. But they also don't play against teams always playing zone either. So threes are a lot easier against the zone. So the Lakers probably haven't seen that many open jump shots. So we'll see how it finishes up. But the Lakers are looking like they're pretty much in the driver's seat. However, Kendrick Nunn coming off the bench, he did really well last night. He hasn't played in a long time because he got COVID and he was sick for a while. And then he got over it. So he's just now coming back. He's one of their best players. So we'll see what happens. Hope it's a good series, although I wouldn't mind a bad series. I'm a Lakers fan. Keep this thing as boring as possible. Ratings down the hill. I don't care if anyone watches this stuff. Have the games be horrible as long as we win. That's how I like to win. All right? Don't make anything exciting at all. Who cares about close games? You smash the other team. Don't forget that rule. All right, just in case you guys are in the victory position. But at the same time, if I'm the Heat, you keep fighting. As long as you have 2 good legs, you keep fighting. You have 1 good leg, whatever. Whoever next man up mentality is a definite thing. All right. Goran Dragic hurt. Bam Adebayo hurt. Jimmy Butler struggling, but he says he's going to play. And look at that guy. He's still playing. All right. He got hurt early on. He never left the game from his injury. Never left the game. Not only did he not leave, he got hurt. I mean, he didn't leave the game for a second. That guy's tough up here. All right. I love Jimmy Butler. Love him. He's amazing. All right. I want a program full of Jimmy Butlers. That would be my dream program. If you try to give me LeBron and AD, I'll be like, no. I'll take a whole bunch of Jimmy Butlers every single day. All right, just know that. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. See you guys at the ISO workout if you're online. I'll see you guys online. Make sure you guys sign in on time so I can so I can add you to the thing. It's isolation workouts on 50allstars.com. Click on isolation workouts at 5 p.m. and I will see you then. All right, peace, guys.